What if the island you fled to escape your past is actually a crucible designed to burn away everything false until only the truth remains? In Maloa's Blood, 5 Days on Pyros Island, M.E. delivers a searing, atmospheric thriller that transforms volcanic isolation into a psychological pressure cooker, proving that some reckonings can't be outrun. They must be walked through, barefoot and bleeding, across ground that still remembers your name. This isn't just another survival suspense or tropical noir. It's a visceral exploration of ancestral trauma, female rage, and the terrifying clarity that emerges when civilization's veneer melts under heat, both geological and emotional. From the first ash-tinged narration, listeners are plunged into a world where every tremor mirrors internal fracture, and every sunrise feels less like hope and more like interrogation. Perfect for fans of literary thrillers and stories where landscape is character, this audiobook serves up relentless tension, lyrical prose, and a protagonist whose journey from flight to confrontation resonates with anyone who's ever believed safety meant silence. When Maloa returns to Pyros Island 5 days before the annual blood moon ritual, a ceremony she abandoned a decade ago after her sister's disappearance, she expects closure, not captivity. But as volcanic activity escalates and long-buried secrets surface with the magma, Maloa realizes the island isn't merely hosting a ritual, it's demanding restitution. Trapped between elders who see her return as prophecy and outsiders who view her as liability, she must navigate a labyrinth of familial obligation, communal guilt, and her own suppressed grief to uncover whether her sister's fate was sacrifice or murder. Eigh masterfully uses the 5-day structure as narrative spine, each day peeling back layers of denial while the island's growing unrest mirrors Maloa's internal unraveling. The audiobook narration amplifies this symbiosis, capturing Maloa's fraying composure and the ensemble's coded speech with vocal textures that make every whispered tradition feel like threat and every moment of solitude hum with ancestral presence. You don't just hear the countdown, you feel the earth shifting beneath your feet with each passing hour. What elevates Maloa's Blood beyond typical island suspense is its refusal to treat indigenous ritual as exotic backdrop or trauma as spectacle. The blood moon ceremony isn't mystical set dressing, it's a living system of accountability whose rules Maloa must relearn without romanticizing or rejecting. Her journey isn't about solving a crime in the Western sense, but about integrating fragmented truths without collapsing under their weight. Supporting characters shine with uncomfortable authenticity, aunties whose love carries conditional expectations, younger cousins navigating modernity and tradition, even the volcano itself, rendered as sentient witness that absorbs confessions humans cannot voice. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core tension. Can healing exist without justice? And more urgently, is some knowledge too heavy to carry alone across unstable ground? Even the temporal constraint serves thematic depth, with each day's rituals mirroring stages of grief and geological events dictating when secrets resurface. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent. The narrator embodies Maloa's evolving perspective with remarkable range, from detached observation to raw, trembling vulnerability, while secondary voices shift subtly between reverence and resistance, making trust feel like negotiation. Sound design enhances atmosphere without gimmickry. Distant rumbles marking escalating stakes, wind through lava fields during vulnerable confessions, the oppressive silence of sacred spaces where breath sounds deafening, all ground psychological stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of eruption, deliberate during moments of ritual and reflection, then surging with urgency as connections click into place under mounting pressure. Whether you're navigating daily commutes or sitting in heated solitude, the audiobook creates a portable crucible where isolation feels absolute and time feels borrowed. It's storytelling as embodied reckoning, transforming passive listening to active participation in a search where survival demands more than endurance, it demands surrender to uncomfortable truths. Ultimately, Maloa's Blood redefines the island thriller by centering cultural memory within suspense frameworks. It satisfies cravings for intricate plotting and chilling atmosphere, while delivering substantive commentary on intergenerational trauma, female agency, and the cost of uncovering what was meant to stay buried. No prior series knowledge is needed, it stands confidently as a complete, devastating journey. If you've ever wondered whether some places hold us accountable rather than offer escape, or if truth can exist without destroying everything built upon lies, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most sacred act is returning to the fire that forged you. Press play, brace against the heat, and prepare to question everything you thought you knew about safety, sanity, and the price of remembering. Your next obsession isn't waiting in distant landscapes, it's waiting in the terrifying intimacy of ground that knows your blood.